What this lesson really deals with is big numbers. And the question that it really asks us is, how big is a big number? How big is a number compared to another number? How do we know that something's bigger than something else if I have a really huge number? You'll often hear little kids talk about zillions and gajillions, which are not even real numbers, they're made up. Let's think about $1 million. How much is $1 million? If I were to take $1 bills and stack them all up on top of each other, I would have enough money to make the size of a 35-story building. That is a lot of money. A million is a lot. It's a lot bigger than 1,000. Even though we talk about $1 million all the time, very few people have actually seen $1 million together. It's a lot of money. Place value is a term that we use to describe where a digit is in a number that makes it worth a certain amount. Digits are just numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. They're symbols that we use to represent. If I have a 1, 10 is 10 times as much as 1 because it has a 0, and so it's one place over. 100 is 10 times as much as 10 because it has 2 zeros, or 2 places over from 1. 1,000 is 10 times greater than 100. 100 is 10 times greater than 10. 10 is 10 times greater than 1. We can keep going on and on and on and on and on and on and on with this pattern forever. It doesn't matter the digit. This is called a base 10 system. Now let's take a look at 1 billion. A period is a group of 3 digits, thousands, millions, etc. Don't be too confused by this vocabulary. It's basically just 3 digits or 3 of these symbols or numbers put together. We use commas to separate one period from the next. In the USA, we use commas to represent the switch from one period to the next. In other countries, they use dots or periods. Now let's take a look at this 1 billion. We have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, and billions. Each place has its own specific name. As you go to the left, the numbers get bigger. Decimals are numbers less than 1. As you go to the right, if you're looking at the number gets smaller. We'll talk more about decimals later. There are 3 forms that we can write numbers. Standard is how you think of it. Written is just written out as 1,234 with actual words. Never use the word "and" when writing something in written form unless you want to talk about a decimal. So standard is as we usually think about it, written is with words. Expanded is the hardest one to remember. It's when we take all the digits and we add them together separately. In this number, we have 1,000 plus 2 hundreds plus 3 tens plus 4 ones. So it's 1,000 plus 200 plus 30 plus 4. Let's take a look at that in depth. So if I have the number 342,681, that means I have 1 1, 8 tens, or 8 of those long sticks, 6 of those 100 squares, and if I had enough to represent it, 3 of those 100,000s. If I look at the number 50, I have 5 tens. If I look at the number 500, I have 5 100 blocks and 5 5 1s. If I'm trying to make the biggest number with digits, I have to use the biggest number, or 9, in the furthest place to the left, because hundreds is worth the most. No matter what, I always want my biggest digit to be in the highest place value. So if I look at the number 99,909, it looks like it might be less than a million. Always, if a number has a digit in a place of a greater value, it is bigger. So a million is bigger than 99,999 because it has a digit in the millions place. If I'm trying to make a 6-digit number with a 0 in the 10,000s place, I gotta consider putting a 0 there first, and then figuring out what is the largest digit I could use to fit in all those other zeros or empty spaces. Happy solving!